my plan for success is to generate a sales cadence so that I can maximize the pipeline and generate as much revenue as possible. I use that, worked like a
I like
charm.
that.
About it. I didn't know if it was something I wanted to do. I didn't know if it was a scam. I didn't know if it was paid actors. Not paid actors. It's
Are
people that,
you a paid
yeah, I'm
actor?
not a paid.
Man, that's incredible. So walk us through this. So you started Course Careers a month ago, and now you're already in a job less than a week or two later. How did all that work out?
So, so I graduated from a school called American Intercontinental University. That was in December 2022. So I I wanted to get into tech sales because I was connecting with a lot of people. I used to do shuttle driving, which is like Uber, basically drop people off at the house, picking them up, and I would be picking people's brains. There was a lot of people like from the Asian culture, and IT is a big thing. So I'm picking their brain, telling them like, "Oh yeah, I got my IT degree, but I do not like coding. I'm not a real techie person." They're like, "Oh, you should get into tech sales, like tech sales." And I'm hearing it, and it's something that they're like, "Oh, you should get into the sales and services side." It's something that sounds amazing to me, but it was like a dream. I didn't know how to get into it. I didn't know what the steps was to take, what certifications I needed, what the path was to try to get in line with that career path. So I happened to be scrolling YouTube one day and I seen a video like, "Oh, like course career changed my life and this and that." Didn't even finish the program and they got a job. So I'm like, okay, it's gonna be based off your work ethic. Like it's not just a gimme,
Totally.
but it's something that can help a lot. So then I don't know if you know him, there's somebody named Sebastian Solomon.
Yeah, 18-year-old.
Exactly. So I seen his
Yeah.
video when he was with Cyrus, and I seen the whole interview, and I just seen the look in his eyes, like how determined he was. He's just like,
He's got that fire. I spoke with him a few
yeah,
weeks back. We spoke for like 45 minutes. He's got that burning fire in his
exactly.
eye.
So when I seen that, it reminded me of myself, but I'm like, man, because I'm 23. I'm like, man, if he's 18 and he's doing this, and I just hear testimony after testimony, I'm like, I gotta try it. About 2 weeks before I did, well, I had course careers, and then I had the actual interview lined up like a week or two after. So I still never forget. You this is your exact words. You said, come into that interview, tell them my plan for success is to generate a sales cadence so that I can maximize the pipeline and generate as much revenue as possible. I use that, worked like a
I like
charm.
that. Yeah.
I, I was connecting with people on LinkedIn. It was somebody I met named Chris. He's from like Nigeria, and he tells me like, yeah, man, like, what are you going to say? He basically does like a mock interview with me the day before the interview. So it's just a blessing how everything plays out. He's
Was
like,
this one of your coaches in Course Careers?
no, I actually
Okay.
never. This is just somebody I ended up reaching out to. I forgot, just probably just like in the beginning stages, I was adding as many people on LinkedIn that's in the industry or just surrounding positions that's close to SDR, VP of sales, anything like that. I'm just connecting with them, reaching out to them.
Yeah.
So he tells me like, "Oh yeah, we can hop on a call," and he's like, "So when they tell you about yourself, what you gonna say?" And I didn't know, like, it's a lot of ways you could approach that question. Like, I can tell you I like fishing. I can tell you where I'm from. I can tell you what I like to do, like jobs I've been in. So he's like, I said something to him, he's like, nah. When they ask you that, tell them I'm a dedicated sales professional with a humble and empathetic approach. So I use that.
Mm.
I use your sales, the generating pipeline line, and I just studied the company to where I knew the company's values by heart. I knew exactly what they did, and
We're
okay,
live,
cool.
baby. What
Okay,
how
cool.
has tech sales changed your life?
Absolutely. So before tech sales, I was trying to get into tech, and it was one of those things where you need 2 certifications, 3 certifications, 2 to 3 years of different things, and you need a Nobel Peace Prize, and I was just trying to bang on
Yeah.
that door, trying to get into tech, and I could not do it. I seen course careers was one of those things. I applied myself. I was a little weary about it. I was a little uncertain about it. Then I just took the leap of faith. Uh, like I said, you taught me like, okay, uh, uh, my plan for success is to create a sales cadence, generate as much pipeline as possible. I used all of the sales terminology. I talked about the sales cycle, the psychological principles. I just used all the knowledge that I gained from course careers and I put that into just a master interview, and I just conducted all of that perfectly to where I was able to wow them, and it's the best job I ever had by far. Killing it right away. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, you're just killing it, killing it." So it's just a blessing. It's just a blessing. Like that's the best way I can explain it.
How long did it take you to complete course careers?
So I actually never finished it. I never finished it. I need to go back and finish it. I was about 55%, and I did the interview, and then it was one of those things where like, okay, I'm gonna go to work, then I'm gonna come back do course careers, and I was just so focused on being successful because, like I said, I'm working in the metals industry, so it's different. Like
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's not cybersecurity or it's not like completely tech. It's in a different blue collar industry to where I knew I needed to develop that knowledge. So that was I just, after working so hard to get into tech, once I finally got this tech sales job, that was my 100% focus. Like, I need to learn the industry. I need to learn the people. I need to learn the terminology. I need to learn steel, metal, all the different operations. Like, I need to completely gear all my energy to that. And it worked out perfectly. So I never finished course career. So that's something I definitely need to go back and do.
How did course careers prepare you to land the job?
Absolutely. So it was a few phrases that you said specifically that I used and incorporated when it's certain mental things like the term sales is a volume game, sales cadence, sales flows, all the different sales terminology. Um this is my first real big sales job. So course careers just gave me the ability to speak fluently and with the sales terminology, sales lingo. It gave me all the knowledge of the complete sales cycle. Like, okay, starts the discovery, then it goes here, here, here. Then we got the presentation, we got this. This is the sales development representative. This is the account executive. This is the sales engineer. So my company is a startup, so we don't even have account executives or sales engineers. We got BDRs, SDRs, and we got sales managers. So course careers gave me an opportunity to speak from a point of I already know what I'm doing, and like I'm talking about sales engineers and account executives, VP of sales positions that my company doesn't even have. So they're looking at me like, wow, he really knows. He's really passionate about this. He took the extra initiative to really be passionate and dive into his craft, and course careers just changed my life. Like I was about a year ago, since all the way until a month ago, I was trying to get into tech with absolutely no success. I had a few interviews. They just told me like, okay, we're going with more qualified people. There's a lot of realms when it comes to tech, as you know, and course careers is one of those. I mean, not course careers. Tech sales is one of those that actually seems enjoyable. So I have an IT degree, but I wanted to do something that I'm passionate about, that I would love doing. Course careers not only educated me on what that profession is, but gave me the knowledge, credentials, qualifications, knowledge, terminology to get into the position.
That's exactly it. And what's interesting about your story is you never even finished course careers, but you recognized early on that you would get out of it whatever you put into it. And so long as you hustled, it was all going to work out. So you actively probably even started applying while you were in it. But while you had that specialized information, that's what allowed you to separate yourself in the interview process because you could really talk the talk. And they're like, man, this guy really knows what he's talking about. And that's the edge. That is really the edge for people that are coming from a different industry or don't have sales experience. If you can show up to the interview like what you did and just be able to explain, my job is to generate pipeline so that you can make more money as a business. That's all I'm doing. You're paying me to do that work. And so long as you can explain that to them, they'll say, okay, well, this person knows what they're talking about. We'll give them a shot. They clearly have
Exactly.
invested in themselves. And that's what we teach at Course Careers. So for those of you listening right now who want to learn that information so that you can determine if tech sales is right for you and then ultimately get in the role, I've linked the free intro course down below for you to learn more. So I highly recommend you checking that out. Let's end with the final question. So for someone out there that's listening, they may feel stuck. They may feel frustrated where they're at. They want more. They want to have a more exciting future. You were able to turn things around and reinvent yourself fast, very fast. So, what advice would you have for them out there to get unstuck and to change their life overnight?
100%. Yeah, if you want to get into tech sales, course careers is definitely the investment you want to make. that 450, it paid off tenfold. I keep doing it. I pay that every year for the qualification, for the experience, for the opportunity that I was presented with. It was one of those things I was weary about it. I didn't know if it was something I wanted to do. I didn't know if it was a scam. I didn't know if it was paid actors, not paid actors. It's
Are
people that,
you a paid
yeah, I'm
actor?
not a paid I'm not a paid actor. This is people that are changing their lives, and that's what course careers did. Like, if you're stuck, you want to break into tech, you want to get into tech sales, course careers is your best friend. Now, not only is course careers going to teach you how to speak fluently with sales terminology, teach you the psychological principles, teach you the sales fundamentals, teach you exactly what the position does, teach you the different layers and levels and advancements within the sales cycle, but it's also going to connect you with a community that's also going to help you. It's going to give you some books that's going to expand your mind, teach you to think like a salesperson, and then it's going to teach you how to do the job to get the job. I mean, it's different ways to go about it. Like, you can do cold calls, cold calling that company, cold emailing the companies, different things like that. And then it's going to teach you how to be more sociable and reach out on LinkedIn. And that's LinkedIn is a very powerful tool. It emphasizes the importance of LinkedIn. So then once you get into LinkedIn and you're just so passionate about, I'm about to reach out to every single person that I can, get different knowledge from them, and it's just going to propel you to that next level. It changed my life, and it's one of those things where if you're on the verge, if you're on the edge, you're on the fence, you want to get into tech sales, and I know Course Careers offers other programs within IT, so definitely something I would suggest. Invest in yourself. It's an investment you will not regret. It's going to teach you everything, but of course, you're still going to need to put in that work. You're still going to need to show the passion. You're still going to need to do good in an interview. Be confident. Be enthusiastic, and you're going to
Hmm.
need to put the work in. It's not one of those things. You bought the program, so now you're handed the job. It's not one of those things, but it is one of those things where it's going to teach you everything you need to know. To where if you put in that effort, it will pay off.
Well said. Well said. Well, sign up for Course Careers now. You'll get $50 off with my link down below, and we'll see you on the other side.